Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. My name's Graham Parker, and on this YouTube channel we look at cows' feet. Might sound strange, but trust me, stick around, some of it's interesting. In this video we're taking a look at how a vet would deal with an extremely bad white line problem. He goes much further than I would ever dare to, or would even be allowed to. And we take a look at me being taught something I didn't know. Guys, this is the Hoof GP. If you haven't already done it, smash the subscribe button right now and give this video a big thumbs up. So they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but that's not going to stop this old dog from trying. I, believe it or not, do not think I know everything there is to know about hoof trimming, and the second I do, I'll probably give up because it means I am not doing the best job I possibly can. That means that I attend training courses, seminars, conferences and all sorts of different things all over the country and sometimes all over the world. So last week I had to cross enemy lines, go into foreign territory. I was in England attending a university run course, and it looked at the recent research into cows' feet, how we can trim them differently, what we can be doing better, and most importantly of all, it questioned every little tiny thing that I've been doing. So this is a look into my week, and believe it or not, it actually is quite interesting. So this was a 5-day course run by an amazing guy called Dr. Nick Bell. He is fantastic. It's actually the first time I've worked so closely with him, and I really enjoyed my week. I'll be honest though, I was really apprehensive because I'm kind of in the limelight, little bit. So this course consists of some classroom-based work, cutting up some dead feet or cadavers, and working on farm for 3 days. So there is lots involved. We get to cut open and dissect cadavers, dead feet, and we get to really look at the different bone changes that happen in a cow's feet. To most people, the first day would probably have been very boring indeed. To somebody who has a bit of a foot fetish, this guy, I loved it, I really did. I got to question Nick about every little tiny thing that I could, and this is where the real benefit of courses like this can be. And dissecting feet is a fantastic way to learn exactly what we need to be doing with them in order to either fix them or stop them from going wrong. On this channel I teach you guys lots and lots of different things about bone structure, about the pedal bone and different things, all branching away from the pedal bone. This is what a good looking pedal bone should look like. So this is the bone that sits at the very bottom or tip of a cow's leg, right inside the hoof capsule, and if you look at it, look how beautifully smooth it is. This pedal bone is from a perfectly healthy claw, and that's why it looks in such good condition. And believe it or not, this is also a pedal bone, but look at how bulbous and huge it has become. This cow had an ulcer on the bottom of her foot, and because of that the bone calcified, and it looks like it's virtually doubled or even tripled in size, meaning this cow could never truly walk properly again. Looking more closely at it, it's actually got 3 other bones fused to it as well. That bone in the left hand side is actually from the left hand digit, not the right hand, but the calcification is so severe that they've all joined up completely. So the crush they had wasn't the best, it was some scaffolding pole, but it worked fantastically well, and it meant that we could just hook up any of the feet we saw fit. Throughout the course for the first 2 afternoons, this was our play area. This is where they collected feet from the local abattoir so that we could examine, dissect and trim them. And as you can see, they found some reasonably gnarly ones for us. That's the deep flexor tendon, by the way. This is a cross section of the tip of a cow's foot. You see the outer wall horn, the laminae, the corium, and that triangle in the middle is the pedal bone. And if we take a closer look at the side elevation, you can see how alive that bone really is when it's attached to the cow. You can see all of the blood vessels running right the way through it. It may sound strange, but when you have cadaver feet to hand, it's a great idea to actually over trim them. That way you can find where the true limits of the cow's feet lie, and that's exactly what myself and Elliot were doing here. As Elliot cuts through this lateral claw on this cow's foot, you can see blood actually starts to seep out, and that's because there is a very good and strong blood supply to the cow's foot. And that yellowy white blob you can see isn't pus, it's the digital cushion. After dissecting so many feet, it was fantastic to get to the farm and to use other people's crushes. I didn't take my own chute because it's such a long drive. It would have taken me around 7.5 to 8 hours taking the crush. And after all, there was going to be a couple of different ones that I could try out there. This is an anchor crush and its main feature is it's stainless steel. Look how clean you can get it. Awesome. And this one is a DP Agri Crush. Again, very, very different to what I'm using, and it's very similar to the Whopper that I used to use. So this is Nick Bell. Nick is a veterinarian. He is a foot scientist, if you want to be, and one of the world's very, very top experts in hoof care. So spending a week with him is seriously invaluable. The cow Nick's about to treat has a seriously bad white line defect, white line disease, necrosis within the white line. All of the above kind of describe this situation, and in order to be able to heal it properly, it needs local anaesthesia, and that is what Nick is doing right now. You can see him massaging the foot so that the anaesthesia works its way down into all of the little arteries within the foot, and the cow can't feel anything that he's about to do. As you can see, there is a lot of blood, and that's why this is a job for a vet, not a hoof trimmer. I'm not qualified, and B, it's illegal for me to do something like this to a cow. She would be in excruciating pain if I did anything on this kind of level, because I can't administer anaesthesia. So Nick stepping in and doing this is awesome, because it means this cow will be on the road to recovery after this trim. So, pay attention. This is Nick removing the lamellae horn. In other words, the horn that is in between all of the laminae within the cow's feet. If he doesn't remove this horn, then it can never truly heal, because there will be detached horn stuck in between the laminae corium. The laminae corium is the bit on the outside of the foot which helps to build and construct that horn and attach it to the inside of the foot. So if there are old dead pieces of tissue and horn stuck in between them, it'll never heal. I don't mind admitting in the slightest little bit that it was fantastic working alongside Dr. Nick Bell. He is so enthusiastic about cows' feet that it really is inspiring to me as a hoof trimmer. His knowledge and technical ability is second to none. It really is properly inspiring. So this was our trimming setup for the week. 2 crushes side by side. This is the DP Agri Crush, and the far away one is the Anchor, the one that I chose to spend most of my time on trimming, because to be honest, I really like the foot position. If you watch closely and follow exactly what I'm doing during this trim, you'll realise that it's pretty much what I've been doing for the last 10 years, with a few slight but very important modifications.
And you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before. You closed the door. Now I don't know what to say. I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see that you are the reason why I try.
Every single foot we trimmed, we shouted over one of the guys that were on hand just to see what their thoughts were and have a bit of a conversation back and forth. Luckily, Joe liked this.
Very good. Spot on. Love your YouTube channel.
Intervals, coffee breaks, and pretty much any downtime was done in this way, with a coffee in your hand, a biscuit in the other, and talking about feet. To me, this was perhaps one of the most invaluable parts of the entire week. But like all good things, it came to an end. This didn't really feel like a course. It felt like a conversation about hoof trimming for 5 days solid. It was fantastic. I did learn little bits and pieces and tidbits of information which really, really will help me in my quest to heal all cows. If you're a hoof trimmer or a vet involved in hoof care, doing a course like this is fantastic because it really is an open conversation. Joe Kirby, Tim Carter and Nick Bell were the instructors, and actually there was only 3 of us on this course, so it worked out fantastically well. Don't get me wrong, there were 8 booked, but 5 people never turned up. More full then. So yeah, it's a conversation about hoof trimming. The guys, the instructors, the lecturers, whatever you want to call them, were very, very open to hear our thoughts, views, our practices, and then maybe they would try and convince us to do theirs, or maybe they would agree with exactly what we were doing. Luckily in my case, they agreed most times. I'm not gonna lie, this course has cost me thousands and thousands of pounds between paying for it, being away from work, hotels, travel costs. It has cost me thousands of pounds. Was it worth it? Definitely. Just making me look at what I'm doing on a daily basis and question everything I'm doing is worth a ton of money to me, because it really makes me think extra hard about every little cut that I make to a cow's foot. Nothing I've learned has been revolutionary, nothing I've learned has been unbelievably way out there or anything like that. It's been more about tweaking things to the latest research and making sure that we are taking all of the research that these universities are doing and putting it into practice to achieve the best results for the cows that we treat. Anyway, enough about the course. Look at my terrible drive home. It was absolutely pouring with rain. 7 hours driving in that really was not fun, and I was glad to get back to my new house and my awesome little family. Guys, this has been the Hoof GP. It's been a very different one, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.